This presentation is over Objective 2, what are the roles of a Congress member? Now, to understand the roles, you first need to watch the video, A Day in the Life of Senator Charles Grassley. I've included the link for that for you on your Objectives and Presentations page. So if you haven't watched that yet, you need to do that first. After you watch the video, I want you to think about what were the main roles and what were the main things that Senator Grassley does as a senator on a daily basis. Now, I realize this video is a little dated, but I wanted to play the Iowa senator because he is our senator. Senator Ernst has not made a video like this. She's done some shorter segments, but it's not as comprehensive as Senator Grassley's, even though I realize Grassley's is a little bit dated. If you'd like, you can watch other videos of other senators and representatives who've made day in the life videos, and some of them are really quite good, but they all have the same type of common characteristics for this objective of the role of a Congress member. So if you looked and watched that video, one of the things that I hope you paid attention to is all of the communication efforts that are made by the Congress members to work with their constituents. Now, remember, a constituent is the person the Congress member represents. So in this case, it's all the people of Iowa for Senator Grassley. One way you can really tell this video is dated, he doesn't talk about his Twitter feed, he doesn't talk about his Facebook page, he doesn't talk about all of his social media outreaches. So there's a lot of different ways we communicate with constituents, as well as the traditional newspaper, magazines, radio, and television. Senator Grassley's second role is to meet with his constituents. You should be really impressed with how much Senator Grassley meets with his constituents, both here in Iowa and at Washington, D.C. As you've heard me say before, I've been able to bring Senator Grassley in to work with our high school seniors, and that is working with all of his constituents, even high schoolers, some who can't even vote. So that's that example of being very close to the people, very close and working closely with the constituents and building that relationship. He also has lots of meetings with various leaders in the executive branch and organizations and lobbyists and interest groups, and those are scheduled all throughout the day. Obviously, one of the main roles of Congress is to make laws. And you heard Senator Grassley talk about how he's there for every vote. He's only missed for flooding situations. And again, Senator Grassley has the longest voting record of all senators. He's known as one of the most hardest working senators in Congress, period. So that making to law process with the committee meetings, and that is where senators and representatives spend most of their time, in committee meetings, as well as, of course, then meeting and working with constituents. Another aspect that you need to understand for a role is Senator Grassley always has to evaluate programs. They do that in committee meetings. They do that by reading reports and making sure as they look at those programs, evaluating the political agenda, what's best for our country, who's pushing this, which interest groups, meeting with those interest groups and the lobbyists. I know people think that that's a dirty word. Well, lobbyists do help Congress members because they give them information. And when they get this information, Congress members are able to better make informed choices. And so lobbyists do play an important role in the political process and that political agenda. Now, since most money bills originate in the House, Senator Grassley didn't talk a lot about the actual budgeting process because all of that budgeting process originates in the House, but the Senate has to approve it. Senator Grassley had one small segment about how they have to determine how tax dollars are spent and the wise use of your tax dollars. Remember, one of the reasons why we study government is because it's expensive. We spend a lot of money in government. Those are your taxes, the money that you've earned. So it's important to determine how to spend the tax dollars. We have a limited amount and we don't want to waste it. And we want to make sure with the money that we do have, it is best for the people of the United States. So there's objective 2. These are the 5 roles of a Congress member: to communicate with their constituents, to meet with their constituents, to meet with various leaders, to do the law process, the bill to law process, to evaluate programs, figure out what's working, what isn't, hold those hearings in committee to figure it out. And then, of course, since we have such an expensive system, to determine how to spend your tax dollars. Don't forget to update your notes.